The following is a presentation of TFNN. Mindful Living with Allie Ford and Tom O'Brien.
Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Allie Ford and Tom O'Brien.
Namaste and welcome to Mindful Living, everybody. It's Allie and Tom here. We want to help you get healthy, feel good, feel great, and live life to the fullest every single day. And today we're talking about an alternative therapy that's designed to do just that, and that is reflexology. And we're going to talk about what it is and who it can help, and we'll be joined by the world's authority on the topic here in just a few minutes. How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm great. Today's a good day.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
Well, the heat is coming to Florida a little. That feels good in your bones, doesn't it?
It's true. We put
last couple days
sweaters and jackets away. It's just hot. I was
Except
at the
in
beach.
his office.
Yeah, it's freezing. It's always freezing in here, but I appreciate that actually because it's hot outside. I was at the beach twice this week. It was so gorgeous. Just awesome. Went for a run.
Last weekend was the first summer day.
Yeah, and it's here to stay for now. So do you like to get your feet rubbed?
Yeah, I do. I do. No,
I guess or does Bridget like you to rub her feet? I should ask you that.
Yes.
Yes. Men, make no mistake about it. Women like to get their feet rubbed. I shouldn't overgeneralize, but women like to get their feet rubbed, okay?
Yes. No, that totally makes sense.
Have you ever had a reflexology treatment?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, but I do know this. I had a little experience with reflexology, when we were in Dominican Republic.
Yes.
So I was there with a couple friends, and we went to the spa, and, it's a third world country. Things work a little differently there. Some countries just aren't as modest as we are here, right? So, we went in for massages, and they send you into a steam room completely naked, and your therapist comes and gets you and brings you out and hoses you down. So there's a lot of nakedness going on, okay?
Right.
So they do put a robe on you to take you to your treatment room, but then they go in with you and they take your robe off. Not like here in the States where they leave you and say, I'll be back in 5 minutes, take off your robe and slip under the sheets. Oh no, you're just out there. So, but the massages were so great that my friend decided to go back the next day for another treatment.
Funny. This is a funny story, folks.
I decided to go for reflexology, which of course, we knew nothing about. And same old thing. She goes into the sauna and gets hot and sweaty, and her therapist comes and gets her, hoses her off, puts her robe on her, takes her to her treatment room, and then my friend, of course, is thinking at this point, I know the drill. I know what's going on. So she takes off her robe. And the therapist looks at her and says, well, you can sit here in this chair. And there she sat, butt naked, for a full 60 minutes, just getting a foot massage, getting her feet rubbed. Now, I'll just say, she said she laughed so hard. She's like, I scarred that woman, man. She's got some serious stories to go and tell her family tonight.
That is hilarious.
We laughed. So I do know reflexology, I think, is not a full body treatment. I think it's just certain parts of the body from that experience.
Right. And my understanding is, so what, it hits some parts of your feet that basically heal other parts of your body, right? Send energy through them, right?
Yeah, in reading about it, it reminds me, or sounds a lot like acupressure.
Okay.
Supposedly it's stimulates certain parts of the body down to the organs, so it can be very, very healing. I've read that they use it to help treat cancer patients or help them de-stress and just kind of maintain, balance in life.
Okay.
So there are many uses for it, but of course, as I say, I've never had a reflexology appointment. So I'm looking forward to talking to our guest today, who is, like I said, there's nobody on the planet with more experience and more practice than this man. So,
and what's amazing is that when you think about it, your feet are absolutely most important just about your whole body.
Seriously.
You don't have your feet, you're done.
It's so true. I mean, unfortunately, the only time these little puppies get rubbed is normally when we pay for it, And,
well, I'll tell you a crazy story. This is a crazy story. So when you're in the service, when I was in the Marines, right? Picture this, they're beating you all the time, right? I mean, that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, sign me up.
But the only time, this is really crazy too, and this was like the only time that you won't stay under stress is that they always make sure that you have either 2 or 3 extra pairs of socks, right? And they're always keeping your feet as dry as they can because you're soaking wet all the time, right? But I always found that intriguing. And they explained it. That was the first thing that they ever explained. They wouldn't explain that till 6 weeks after you were in. Do you know what I mean? But they always, they were always keeping your feet dry. And they was always saying, you got to keep them, because of course you got to keep pounding.
For your health and well-being.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
It really was. You know, to this day, I always remember it too. Because other than that, you know, they were going to stretch the rest of your body as much as they could, but they would not. Your feet. They would not stretch your feet.
Your wheels, man, they keep you you running. No, it's true. I feel like we all take our feet for granted when they are such important tools. You know, we use them every day. I mean, if we still have them, you know, they need to be taken care of. Otherwise, they will start barking at you, right? Particularly the shoes we wear, women. I mean, I think about, you know,
I don't know how you women do it. That blows my mind.
I am a fan of shoes. I can't help it. It's
no,
definitely...
all women are. I mean, you know, it's a riot when you see, because the shoes I think are so large now that you see the younger kids that, you know, on Easter, on days they're dressed up, you see them trying to walk in them. And it's like, oh my God.
Oh, I know. Little girls and little boys alike.
Yeah,
it's like a fun game, you know. But it's true. Even in yoga, we talk about the health of the feet. And, you know, as I say, oftentimes we don't give them any love unless we go and get like a pedicure or some sort of treatment. But you can sit down and massage your feet all by yourself. You can, you know, just spend some time with them, with your tootsies. You know, just rub the soles of your feet and, you know, spread your toes out and just check them out. Because, again, I just think that we forget they're down there and how important they are.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is that pedicures, you know, I've got pedicures for a long time. And, of course, the first time you always go there, it's like, oh, it's all women.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd walk in there in 2 seconds now. It's not even close. Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate a man who takes care of his feet because I think that can be a really big turnoff to look, you know, here you are, you're staring
at that yoga studio, I have to, or those feet will attack them. You know what I mean? Sometimes I get those things out and start clipping them and says, oh man, this is not good.
It's true.
They're ugly.
I think that the state of your feet can reveal a lot about your personal hygiene. So
that's a fact.
I appreciate a man who takes good care of his feet. Seriously, yeah, especially as a yoga practitioner, because we spend a lot of time with no shoes on.
Yeah, totally.
And it can, you know, it can either be a real pleasant experience or not.
Yeah.
So I want to remind our listeners, too, that today is the new moon and a beautiful time to spend some quiet time. The day is not over yet, so if you have a few minutes, take some time just by yourself and journal about what your goals are, your health and wellness goals or your life goals, and perhaps even sit just a few minutes of meditation and, you know, kind of let your mind clear and let those dreams and desires come to reality.
So the new moon, we've talked about this before, but the new moon you're supposed to journal as to what you want, and then is it the full moon that you see what transpired?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
And then check in with the full moon and see if you're taking steps toward those goals that you listed in your new moon journal.
Right. And I think there was an eclipse last night. You know?
Is there? I should know. I don't know.
I think so.
Did you see it?
No. I just remember there's 2 this month.
Yeah.
There was one at the beginning of the month and one the 29th. So that was last night.
I just can't get up that, you know, I think you have to get up, go out in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning. And,
yeah, you do. But I just mean energy-wise. They throw a lot of stuff around energy-wise.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. I don't know. I felt pretty good today. It's funny that
No, this is a good one. This is a good one.
Yesterday I felt kind of heavy and slow, and a lot of people were saying they felt very emotional, and that usually is typical of the new moon energy.
Right.
So what do you say we dive into this conversation?
It's a beautiful thing.
I'm excited. We are going to introduce our guest of the hour, who is Dwight C. Byers, the president of the International Institute of Reflexology and Ingham Publishing. Dwight is the nephew of the late Eunice Ingham, a remarkable woman who was the original pioneer and developer of reflexology as it is known today. Dwight has authored reflexology charts and the book Better Health with Foot Reflexology. He travels the world teaching and practicing, and in fact, there's no one with more practical and teaching experience than Dwight C. Byers. Dwight, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dwight. Thanks so much for being here.
So,
my pleasure.
Dwight, how many years have you been practicing reflexology?
How long?
Yes.
All my life. I started when I was about 16 years old. I was my aunt's guinea pig before she wrote the first book.
That had to be a fun guinea pig, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, you know, I read on your website that you suffered from asthma as a child.
Yes, I did.
And so you were her guinea pig, and she cured you, quote unquote, healed your asthma. Is that right?
That's right. Certain time of the year, I lived up in Rochester, New York, and in the fall I'd get asthma, and she worked on me, and that's how I got started in reflexology.
And how did Eunice find reflexology? Where is it from? I read that it started with the Egyptians, but what's the source of reflexology?
Well, through the century, actually, there's nothing written about reflexology. In the physician's tomb in Egypt are 6 drawings on the wall, and there's one working on feet and hands.
Okay.
And it certainly wasn't there to decorate the walls, but it meant something. But there's nothing that says what they were, what it was all about, except that it felt good.
Okay. And then
through the years, there's really nothing writing. There's a few pictures of people working on feet, and also the Bible says washing and anointing feet. So maybe they did a little bit more and just didn't make a big deal about it.
Sure. And so it was really then your aunt who we can credit with bringing it to the forefront of the modern world?
Yes, there were some doctors in the early 1900s that did therapy called zone therapy, and that's where she conceived the idea because she worked for another famous doctor, Dr. Joe Shelby Riley.
Okay.
Actually, right here in St. Petersburg.
It's the coolest thing. I have to tell you, Dwight, I've been very interested in reflexology for a long time because it's similar to some of the other therapies I'm familiar with through yoga and through Ayurveda. But I actually was doing research online, and to find out that you are right here in St. Petersburg, Florida, and your institute is right here in St. Petersburg, Florida, where people come from all over the world to study, was so exciting to me. So I have to come down. We'll have to come down and visit.
Oh, by all means. We certainly call and be glad to have you come down and give you a nice big sample.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful. So you actually have locations in St. Petersburg and in
We have a big office in St. Petersburg in a classroom. We offer continuing education for nurses and massage therapists and other health entities.
Okay. And then in the UK as well, the United Kingdom?
Oh, we have directors in England and France and Singapore and New Zealand, Australia. We have them in South Africa. So we have them in several places throughout the world.
And would you say that reflexology is more accepted in other countries than it is here, or is it more popular?
Oh, yes. In Europe, it's used on the health service.
Okay.
In Denmark, it's the #1 alternative health care used.
Wow.
And what exactly does it do?
Well, really, they're just a little more open-minded. They've had spas long before we ever thought of them.
Sure.
And my aunt's books were translated in the late 50s and early 60s into 7 languages, and most of them were the Scandinavian and German.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, that makes sense, too, because they're outside a lot more than we were. I mean, in cold weather and everything, too, right? I mean, they've been healthy. What exactly does reflexology do, though? Can you just give us an idea?
Well, the basis of reflexology is it does 3 basic things, and, of course, relieving stress and tension internally.
Yes.
Which is the cause of, according to medical profession, probably over 75% of our health ills today.
Yes.
Right?
And then it helps nature to improve nerve and blood supply, and that's because stress acts like a tourniquet around the body systems.
Okay.
So if your spine and your nerve innervations are impaired, just like your shoulder goes to sleep or you cross your legs too long, any little bit, it could be 1%, it could be 5%, who knows?
Wow.
Helps to relieve that, helps to improve our blood supply.
Dwight, let me interrupt you for 1 sec. We're coming up on a break, so if you'll stay right there, we'll come back with more on reflexology and mindful living. As we go into the break, Tom and I are going to do a toast to the health of our listeners with apples, kale, spinach, wheatgrass, and a little ginger. So cheers. Be back in a minute.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy. A set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders, take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link to all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not here. What are you doing right now? Mindful Living with Allie Ford and Tom O'Brien.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
Welcome back to Mindful Living, everybody. We're here with Dwight Byers, who's helping us understand a little bit more about the alternative holistic therapy of reflexology. And just before the break, we were talking about how stress cuts off certain energetic and blood flow to certain parts of the body, which reflexology can help with. So, Dwight, that makes so much sense to me. And the fact that you pointed out that the stress of our lives is causing so much of the disease that people are facing, it just makes so much sense. So stress relief is a big use for reflexology. I want to go back and ask you about the technique itself. What parts of the body are you manipulating?
Well, we only work with the feet and the hands. We're not massage therapists. We work with the feet and the hand reflexes. The hands are not quite as therapeutic, but they're very, very relaxing. And if people's feet are kind of extra sensitive, sometimes you work on the hands, and that will help to cut down the sensitivity of their feet a little bit.
So the idea then is that certain pressure points on the feet and in the hands, I guess more the feet, lead directly to energy channels to certain organs and systems of the body? Well,
in some respect, yes, but the concept of reflexology is that our feet are like the mirror image of our body.
Okay.
So if you take the right foot, it represents the right half of the body, and the left foot represents the left half of the body. So you start with the great toe, represents your head, and all the toes are kind of a breakdown of the great toe. And there are certain guidelines on the feet, like the metatarsal heads, kind of match our body as to our size and so forth. Okay. But sometimes the size of your feet and the shape of them also determines your body.
Ah, so can you... Oh, go ahead.
I can tell whether you're long-waisted or short-waisted by measuring the distance of the bone that you feel on the foot, as an example.
Can you get an idea of somebody's general health just by looking at their feet, or do you need to touch them?
Well, you need more than just looking at them, but bad feet do create health problems. Okay. So when people have bunions, inevitably they're going to have neck problems because that's the neck reflex in the shoulder.
Oh, wow, that's so interesting.
I'm definitely going to look at my right and left foot way differently now.
Right.
But you know, there's no doubt. I mean, I can totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And people with high arches put more pressure on the heel and on the toe, so the sciatic nerve literally runs through the heel of your foot, and that can create back problems and things of that kind.
Yeah, I also read that reflexology is very useful for back pain. Do you see a lot of success there?
A lot. It's a great pain reliever for any type of pain. And so that's why a lot of times with just headaches, if you work, you help to reduce it. You can't always get to the cause of it, but at least you can cut the pain down.
Right.
And that's where reflexology is helping, where the back problems, by working the spinal reflexes, can help to alleviate lots of discomfort. And sometimes because of stress, and stress creates the pain, and sometimes then it helps nature to heal better.
That it makes a lot of sense. You know, I'm curious. You mentioned the right-left side of the body and mirroring the feet. So if somebody comes in with pain on the right side of the body, would you typically just treat that foot?
More, yes, but the pain can be on one side and the cause could be on another side.
True.
Yes. That's true. So, but what you look on the feet, when we work on feet, tenderness indicates congestion, usually to that corresponding reflex.
Okay. So
as an example, the spinal reflexes are on the medial edge of each foot, because you divide the body in half, just like the spine. And then, therefore, where it's tender, sometimes you could tell whether it be the lumbar or the cervicals. And when people's neck bothers them, their cervical reflex is going to be extra sensitive.
Okay. So just testing my anatomy terminology here, the medial edge of the foot, that would be toward the arch of the foot?
The great toe side.
Okay, thank you. I knew that one.
That's the medial side. So you divide the body in half, and each one on the great toe side, and coming down there on the edge would be half your spine on each foot, as an example.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful so much. So many people in our society have back pain at some time in their life. I think the stats are over 80%. So can we give ourselves reflexology? Can we massage our own feet and see some change?
It can help to relieve the pain, and which in turn helps it to heal, too.
Awesome.
And sometimes you can work your own hands.
Okay.
By looking at the chart. However, the hands are a little harder because we use our hands every day, and therefore the reflexes are deeper, and the sensitivity and the touch is a little harder to work. But you can certainly get in there and look for areas that are tender, and wherever it's sore, work on it. That's the ones you need to work on, not avoid.
Yeah, so Tom and I are massaging our own hands right now. So you said if you massage someone's foot or you're manipulating the pressure points and there's sensitivity there, that could indicate that there's congestion in that system in the body or in that organ. Is that right?
That's right. So as an example, the adrenal glands fight stress and everything today. And they're just off the side there on the great toe side. And they're always tender because we all have a little bit of stress. just opening up the newspaper and stuff today.
Right, it's true.
And so by working that constantly or in your hand, wherever that is on the chart, you can certainly help yourself a little bit. And you can't overdo reflexology. In other words, it helps nature to normalize. If an organ is overactive, like the thyroid, it helps to bring it down. If it's underactive, it helps to bring it up. If it's normal already, it's going to stay there. So if you don't do it exactly right, you're not going to cause any you might hurt yourself.
Right. By pushing too hard.
You're not going to create any health problems because there are no contraindications.
Oh, that's great. That's a question I had. But what about, I've heard stories of, pressure points inducing labor in pregnant women on the feet specifically.
Well, if that were true, we could be the best abortionists in town.
Okay. Oh, so that's not even true. That's a rumor?
So that's not true whatsoever, because many midwives take our class and use reflexology at the proper time. When it's ready, it's going to happen.
Have you ever heard that, Tom?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, because, it's funny, at the end of yoga class, they'll say, be careful if you have a pregnant woman.
But in massage therapy, they say, don't touch these points, you're going to create some problem. But that's one of the big myths of reflexology, is that working with pregnant women is fantastic. My wife, I worked on her, from the day of conception to the day of delivery.
Aw, oh yeah, and they need it the most. We're carrying around a little extra weight.
And they need it the most. You want a good, healthy child, you need your feet worked on if you're a woman.
True. All right, listen to that, ladies, if you're expecting or know friends who are.
And these points, if they were, same with, China wouldn't have all this population problem if this were true.
That's true.
When you're at your website, and the website, folks, is reflexology-usa.com.
.net.
.net. I see that you have charts right there that you can actually take a look and see how these charts set up, right?
Yes.
Over the course of these years, I'm sure you probably have seen more people interested in it. Allie and I we've interviewed a lot of different folks that basically have done a huge amount of work with holistic type of healing. And it blows my mind sitting here every single time that why aren't we taught this stuff in schools? I mean, schools, it's like amazing to me, right? I
know. Self-help.
Have you seen, more education, in the last 10 or 20 years, or is it basically still that someone like you has to be sought out?
Yeah, is it more mainstream in education in schools, Dwight?
Yes, it's becoming more popular here in the States, of course. Dr. Oz talks about it quite frequently.
Okay.
There you go.
So that's helping.
And Michigan State University Nursing School got a $3 million grant to work on women while they're having chemotherapy for breast cancer.
Okay.
So that's helped, and that was several years ago, and they've applied for some more money because it was so successful as to helping that. I've worked on, and I do work on, lots of women that are having chemotherapy for anything, whether it be breast cancer or any type of cancer or whatever.
And that's because it helps with the pain dramatically, right?
It helps them so they get through, they don't get as sick.
Yeah.
And all the side effects that it gives.
Yeah.
And it isn't going to make cancer spread or anything like that, but it helps to cut down with the pain and people to get through that so they don't get as sick and all the side effects that it creates.
That's great.
Numbness in the feet and back problems and rashes and heat and all this stuff.
What does happen with numbness in the feet? Is that what is that problem? Is that just a stoppage?
What is the what?
When you have numbness inside your feet, is that saying?
Well, usually that's like neuropathy. Comes from the low back usually.
Okay.
Because it's sciatic nerve forms at the fourth and fifth and first sacrum. And all the nerves come down your leg, all come. So many times it's my back that's out or, deteriorated, the disc or whatever, creates numbness and all that with the feet.
All right, when we come back from our break, folks, we're going to talk more about the conditions, specific conditions that you can use reflexology to treat. Our number is 877-927-6648. You're listening to Mindful Living. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Life is a mystery to be lived, not a problem to be solved. Mindful Living with Allie Ford and Tom O'Brien.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. I get a feeling that I never had before. No, I get a good feeling, yeah.
Welcome back to Mindful Living, everybody. It's Allie and Tom here. We're talking with Dwight Byers, the world's authority on reflexology with the International Institute of Reflexology. And Dwight, you were just describing a list. You were giving us a list of conditions that are treated with reflexology. So would you continue and tell us some other things that you see reflexology helps with?
Well, diabetes is one that's been very effective, type 2.
Wow.
And it depends on, of course, how long you've had it, but they respond very well to reflexology. Of course, they got to keep out of the bad foods, too.
Yes. Now, is that because they have such trouble with the circulation?
This is why it helps a lot of things. There are a lot of side effects of diabetes. You get poor circulation, you get numbness in your feet, you get effects with the eyes, and lots of other side effects of diabetes. And that's where it really helps tremendously with diabetes. We've had extremely wonderful success with diabetes.
So it's opening the flow of energy through your body, basically. Is that kind of the theory?
Well, that it is and it isn't. Really, what we're working with is helping the body, each organ. So, like how nature, or how our body, rather, would respond and help each thing. So, as an example, the reflexes we work with diabetes would be, first of all, the liver is important because it stores the glucose.
Yes.
The pancreas is the main one, but in order for the pancreas to produce the insulin to get it to the liver, it has to have a hormone from the adrenals. So the adrenals secrete the hormone to tell the portion of the pancreas, which is the islets of Langerhorn, to get the produce over there and get it to the liver.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But the adrenals have had a stressful day and a big party.
Right.
Yes.
And the pituitary secretes the hormone that tells the pancreas or the adrenals to get it over there. So we work as the body would heal itself. In other words, working through the endocrine system, which is the hormones, and that's what our body is under, the joint control of the central nervous system and the endocrine glands. Mm-hmm. So the glands are the key to helping them to secrete the hormones that help whatever's wrong in the body.
Okay.
And that's what you have to learn to be a good reflexologist. What am I going to work on? I don't work just the pancreas if you're a diabetic.
Sure.
Right.
That's
that's
amazing.
The
So
there.
Yeah.
The energy flow, of course, enters into that to some degree. But the main thing with reflexology is that we work how the body would correct that condition.
Yeah, no, I can see how that would take a while to really understand that also. You know,
You have to know a little bit about your anatomy and physiology.
Yeah.
A little, right.
Yes, no doubt.
You know, you mentioned...
To be a professional reflexologist.
Sure.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can always rub the feet, and you can't do anything wrong.
Okay. Good to know. You mentioned asthma when you were a child. So do you guys treat many children?
Children respond tremendously to reflexology. Every parent should know a little. They don't have to get certified or anything, but just to work their feet is from when they're born all the way through, because it can help so many things to help their body as they continue to grow, and just to get used to touch and stuff. My grandson, I worked on him when he was 30 minutes old. And, every time he came to the house, he'd always have his feet worked on. And
Isn't that cool?
So sweet.
It's just wonderful for children. They respond tremendously to reflexology. So if you bathe them, you're rubbing your fingers up and down the spine, play with their toes, piggly wigglies.
Yeah.
So cute.
You know, it's amazing that you're bringing this up. Now, I'm going to shift gears just for a second, but with dogs, right? I've always had German Shepherds. And I'm on my 6th one right now, and when they're puppies, and I didn't do this for reflexology. I did this because I always wanted them to have cut his nails. And, if you play with their feet when they're young, they don't have a problem when they're older. So it's really interesting because this dog here, now I can really take his feet now and really hold them and play with them. Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
A lot of people work with their animals, and I don't get into that really.
Okay.
But I had a Shih Tzu, and every time I walk her in the rain, she'd lift her paws right up waiting for me to play with them, because I did it from day one.
That is so cool.
It is.
Yeah.
Dad, you think of, dogs' feet are pretty sensitive,
Well, more than when I look at those pads, they run through everything.
Yeah, they
do. You know what I mean?
know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you went through.
Yeah.
So you mentioned getting certified, Dwight. I'd love to hear more about the program that you guys offer at the International Institute of Reflexology. And my first question is, can anyone come and study with you, or do you have...
Yes, you don't have to be anybody, any lay person, professional person. We have from, nurses to massage therapists to beauticians to just plain housewives or people or men or fellows that just want to work on their family.
And how long is the certification program?
Well, we do it through weekend training sessions.
Okay.
And that would be, it takes about 200 hours, but that's not all classroom. It's just homework involved in there.
Okay.
And they have to do, practice on so many people.
Uh-huh.
And then turn in that and then do their homework and then come back and review. And so it's a hands-on training that we work on each other.
So
It's going to be a fun training.
Yeah,
It's educational, but fun also. Yeah.
Do you
So
ever...
you need to send your best friend over so they can work on you.
Yes.
Exactly. We'll take the training together. So what do you do if somebody walks in with some just pretty gnarly feet? Nasty, dirty, just bad. Do you ever take like a warm, soapy washcloth to them before you touch them?
Well, There's a difference between clean dirt and dirty dirt.
Okay. That's true. It's
There
probably
is.
the smell, right?
If you just came in off of work, we just simply clean them a little bit. But if you wore the same shoes all week and the same socks and the same underwear and the same pants,
Yeah.
go into the restroom and wash your feet. But most people that come that are going to have their feet done do have them clean. But sometimes there are people that work and come in, and we understand we just use handy wipes and proper things to, and disinfect. Now, if there's a broken skin, we don't work on that.
Okay.
Or anything like that, or sprained ankle, or, anything common sense things.
Right. What can somebody expect when they come in for a treatment? So do you do some sort of consultation first and ask if they're having pain anywhere in their body?
Well, most people that come because of some reason. They knew us. They didn't just walk in off the street.
Right.
Now, many people do that because they haven't heard of reflexology. But most people came in, they fill out a questionnaire.
Okay.
And what their problem is, and then whoever's working with them, and they say, I came here, I got back problems, or I got glaucoma, or I got tinnitus, or I have diabetes, or high blood pressure, or whatever. Some people come for just maintenance.
Right.
And we have some people that come for, hot flashes and PMS and things of that kind.
Wow.
And then we have some that just come for migraine headaches or just for maintenance. We have some people that come every month just for maintenance.
And so the typical appointment is how long?
An hour, usually an hour.
Okay. And then now you mentioned there may be some sensitivity, but not pain. Is that correct? Should it be painful?
Well, we ask people first, if you're going to tell them if it's a little discomforting, be sure to let us know. But what we like to say, the magic words are, it hurts, but it feels good.
Okay, it's a good hurt.
and right, and that's it. It's not brutality. You don't want that.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a nice, firm pressure, and you should feel something. Otherwise, you're not getting in there. I don't want a foot rub.
Right, right.
And you don't want that, because when you get through, I guarantee you your feet are going to be alive, and sometimes with probably near the last part, you'll be shutting your eyes in La La Land.
I was going to ask you, what can we expect to feel after the appointment?
Normally very, very relaxed.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'm glad
It's not going to, but it's an internal relaxation to your body, even though you may doze off the last 15 minutes, and sometimes it hurts, and they'll open their eyes or something, but most of the time you will be so relaxed you can hardly keep your eyes open. It's unbelievable.
I'm relaxed just thinking about it.
Well, I'm glad you explained the difference, that it's not a foot rub, versus that, that there is some pressure that's put on there. Because my understanding before that was that it was basically a foot rub with pressure, but now I got a different... Yes.
You feel there's a few special, we move and manipulate the foot a little bit, stretch it.
I see.
It's very important,
good
especially
for you.
if you have edema, or you have. I work a lot with sports injuries. I do a lot of sporty things. So, people with say plantar fasciitis or knee pains or tennis elbows or rotator cuff or things of that kind. You have to get in there a little bit.
That is so. It sounds like it's so helpful for so many things. And my question for you is. We talked about how different cancer hospitals are using it as alternative therapy to really help with side effects. And it sounds like, do you really truly believe that it not only helps with side effects or symptoms, but it can cure disease?
Well, I don't like to use the word cure exactly. Yes, it can actually help many conditions, and because the body just was off a little bit.
Yeah, it's like you're tuning up the body, right? Yeah.
Right. But what happens today is so hard is because of the diet sodas.
Yeah.
Amphetamine tricks the brain into giving false messages. And that's what's screwing up the hormones of people so many times. Is the diet sodas is just one example.
Yeah, we talked about that on a previous show, Dwight.
Yeah,
I forget who
Dr.
said.
Oz talks about it quite often.
Actually, it was Brian Clement's wife said that something in the diet sodas is actually turning to formaldehyde in the body. It's poison.
Yeah, well, the way that Dr. Oz explains it is it tricks the brain into giving false messages out there to the other endocrine system. Mm-hmm. And therefore, it's like diabetics.
Right.
Or you're hungry. It tricks the brain into saying, hey, you are hungry, but you're really not.
Right. So in that...
And that's one of the things that diet sodas does to people when they think they're helping them, but yet they're actually makes them hungry, and they're really not, but they have to go eat.
Yeah.
Right.
So in that case, you're saying, I mean, you can do as much alternative or holistic or, for that matter, medicine as you want, but if you're still putting, junk in your body...
I preach people, look, you want to get better or faster, knock off the diet sodas as an example.
Yeah, watch what you put into your body, definitely.
I'm trying to put the fire out, and you're pouring gasoline on it.
True. Very good analogy. So you are traveling around the world to teach about reflexology.
Yes.
And where are you off to next?
Well, we're off to England. We have 3 different places, London and Sheffield and Birmingham. And then we go to France.
Nice. You're headed there soon?
Next week.
And are you teaching at conventions or are you teaching training courses?
I'm teaching, training, and also at a big health convention.
So people will come to hear
Yeah,
about...
in other words, this is advanced classes that I'm doing.
Okay, to experience.
Because we have instructors there, but they teach the basic, but I come over and give master classes and refine some of their techniques and things.
Yeah, the technique's really important inside of this, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's the hardest part to do right, is to have good technique.
Yeah, because
you'll find out when you come.
Yeah.
No, it's so cool because when you explain that, between the pancreas and the liver, that you got to open up one part of the system to feed the other part of the system, which totally makes sense. But just understanding that would be so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a life to live, and it's like when you don't understand that, we understand the outside, but the inside of us is.
Well, a lot of people that have it, of course, they don't understand. But we give them a little lesson or try to help them a little bit and give them a little education because they have no idea what's going on hardly.
Sure.
How would you seek out a reflexology therapist? What would you look for in terms of skill set?
Well, the skill, first you have to, read the books and have good technique. By that, your fingers and hands have to walk like a caterpillar. It's an even, smooth thing. It's not jerky.
Okay.
And it's not a massage either. We don't use cream or oil. Well, we work with a dry foot.
Okay. So if anybody breaks out the cream, beware. Run.
Right. Now, if you have a lot of calluses, sometimes at the very last grand finale, we'll say, I might use a little special cream on your dry foot or something, but that's not oil or like a massage oil or things of that kind.
Okay, good to know. Well, we certainly so appreciate you being here, Dwight. So you've shared so much helpful information on the healing practice of reflexology. And for our listeners, again, your website is reflexology-usa.net. And we hope that we'll have the opportunity to come down and get a treatment with you guys soon, Dwight, or
by all
listen
means,
to one of your
you call
speeches.
Our Secretary Linda and remind her what I told you.
We'll sure do it. Dwight, thank you so much for being with us today.
I look forward to seeing both of you.
Absolutely. Dwight, you have a great one. Have a safe flight, and we look forward to speaking in the future. I appreciate it. We wish you all better health, happiness, and lots of success. That's a beautiful thing.
Same to you. Thanks, Dwight.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I believe it so much. And I tell you, how sensitive the feet are when you go and get, let's say you're having a massage and someone manipulates your feet, or you get a pedicure and they don't know what they're doing.
Oh, you're in trouble, right.
It sends a shock through your entire body.
It does.
I believe it. It's so cool. I just feel so, it's shocked, that he is right here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Right. And I'm going to give it a try.
Oh, there's no doubt.
We should sign up and go.
Let's do it. No, seriously.
I'm on board.
The thing that's amazing is that we all should know that what reflex would hit something else into us internally that releases something that helps us internally.
Yes.
And, we talk about working on the inside a lot. Knowing the inside and knowing, I know you know the inside even when you were doing the yoga is what is pushing. But he's talking about what type of juices that come out on the inside of us to make us better. That's amazing.
That aids the body in healing itself. And
right.
that is definitely the underlying theme of all alternative therapy. And in fact, when you start to practice not only yoga or meditation or, alternative therapy, you understand and realize the body's a miracle.
It is.
It can heal. And oftentimes, we talk so much about the power of the mind on this show that sometimes we'll put ourselves in a box that, oh, I'm sick, I have a bad back, or I have bad knees, as though it's something that's going to last forever.
Right.
Give yourself that space to heal,
Yeah. And don't beat yourself up. Just say, I'm getting out of here.
Totally. Take the food that you need as medicine, right? Remember the food that we talk about so much on this show is medicine. Take the exercise.
That grass we just had.
Exactly, wheatgrass, which we love. Do your exercise, and not only physical but mental exercise, so you de-stress. That's so much what Dwight was just talking about. Is, as we know, stress is causing over 50%, if not more like 75% of disease in our body. So, take care of yourself inside and out.
When you think of stress, what I think what's hard to understand is that everyone knows that stress is out there. But why don't people just say, well, I'm going to get rid of the stress? Get away from me.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Well, stress is a mindset.
Go somewhere else.
That's right. You got to change your mind.
Yeah.
If you change your mind,
it's definitely,
the stress will change.
Go take a swim.
Right.
Go swim in the Gulf and don't come back.
Exactly. We too often embrace the stress as though it has to be part of who we are, and that's not the case at all.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah.
I love that he just talked about massaging the feet of children.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that to my babies tonight. Both of my kids, I'm going to massage their feet. I've always given, they love it when I rub their face or their backs.
Yes.
And I've given my children some pressure point on their face or on their back that I've learned through yoga.
Sure.
And they feel it immediately. They ask for it all the time. Mommy, will you please do the pressure
Isn't that
points
cool?
on my back?
Yeah.
But I haven't really massaged their feet like that. And man, what a sweet thing, a gift to give your kids.
You're going to learn something tonight.
Definitely.
No doubt.
Speaking of children, I have my first children's yoga book is soon to be released.
Oh, cool.
I'm very excited about that.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll be talking about that soon here on the show. And
what's the name of it? I should know the name of it.
It's called Garuda, which is the name of an eagle.
That's right. Oh, when you see this character. Oh, this character's beautiful.
And it's got a beautiful lesson to teach children, and that is to live with nonviolence. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
So we'll be talking about that soon. Check out my chanting CD, which induces calming meditation on my website, AllieFord.com. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We wish you health, wellness, and happiness inside and out. Namaste.
Namaste, folks. Have a great one. Have a safe one.
This is TFNN.